Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay. Okay. Well, why don't we go ahead? We're going to start with the Lions because we're going to go from first to worst. You
Okay.
ready to go into each of the team's previews?
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Okay, let's do it. So we're going to start with the Detroit Lions. They were 15-2 last year, sadly eliminated in the division round of the playoffs. They had the ranked offense last year, second in passing, sixth in rushing, and then they were the seventh ranked defense last year. So Shannon, tell me your favorite move that the Detroit Lions made.
Their first two draft picks.
Okay.
Um, I actually I was jealous when the Lions took Tyleik Williams in the first round. Being a Packers fan and following the team pretty closely, a lot of the beat writers had pinpointed this particular um, yeah, pick as a possible, you know, Packer pick.
hmm
Um, So, and then they addressed their offensive line in the second round with Tate Radledge. And so to me, of the moves that the Lions did make, those were my favorite, the first two draft picks.
Okay, I like it. And I like that you're bragging it up a little bit because that's good to hear. Um, I went with DJ Reed, the
Mhm.
cornerback. They lost Carlton Davis, and they got
Yep.
Reed for less than what Davis got. So I think that's good when you look at his PFF rating. He was as in the same area, maybe even a little better than Carlton Davis. So I really like that move. The fact that they still got a corner that is pretty darn good, and they got to
Mhm.
pay less for him. So I made that as far as my favorite move that they made the offseason.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
Uh,
like
le-
that.
okay, least favorite for you.
The least favorite for the Vikings,
The Lions. Yeah.
I mean, the Lions,
Yeah.
sorry, was the third round selection.
Okay, okay.
Because they picked the wide receiver, Isaac Tesla.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought that was a reach. And so maybe I'm going a little bit with the consensus here of
hmm
what people thought. And it seems like he could be a project. Um, like you said, I thought the Lions had, some fairly good moves this offseason, but that was the one that was a head scratcher to me.
Yeah, it wasn't like a wide receiver is not necessarily in need of theirs either, right? Like not that they have a lot of holes on their team, so I get that. I hear
Mhm.
good things coming out of like camp and stuff for him. So but a reach is a reach. There's different ways we evaluate the draft, and one is like if you take somebody in
Mhm.
the third round and they were a fifth round grade, that means you could have probably waited till the fourth round to pick them up.
Yeah.
Right, right. So that's how we sort of judge the draft. So I think that's fair to criticize maybe that they picked him too early. So we'll see how that turns out. I put not getting another edge rusher. I'm happy they got
Mhm.
the interior rusher, but we saw that defense. I mean, there was much more than just the one injury, but once Hutchinson went down last year, the Lions had to generate pass rush. They had to
Mhm.
like blitz. They went out and got Smith.
Darius Smith.
Yeah, they
Yep.
went out and got Smith. He did fine, but he didn't provide. They needed Smith before Hutchinson went down. So when you added Smith,
Yeah.
it didn't like fix the problem. And again, this
Yeah.
offseason, it wasn't a need that they addressed. And right now, like there's trade rumors with the Bengals guy Hendrickson.
Hmm.
I'm like, just go out and get him. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand. It blows my mind. They're really just a pass rusher and away in my mind to maybe being like a next level defense where they can rush four and like guarantee to get to the quarterback every time.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
the fact they haven't addressed that in the last two years blows my mind because this team is so close. Well, at least it was last year, but they're so close to being a Super Bowl contender. If they could just find a way to rush four and generate pressure every time, I think that would go well for any defense, but especially this one when you
Hmm.
have like Super Bowl aspirations.
Yeah, especially with some like Aiden Hutchinson on one side, you need to complement that somehow.
Yeah, and I don't know if Marcus Davenport is the answer. You know,
Yeah, he's been. We keep waiting for him to break out, and this never happens.
yeah, he's old too, like he's 32, and then
Yeah.
and then like Zadarius Smith, you can bring him back. But like again, he was okay last year for them. Maybe he'd be better if he's not, like not a lot of tension on him, maybe. But I'm just not. I'd rather them went out and got a real pass rusher to put next to Hutchinson.
Yeah, and Zadarius Smith probably passed the,
Well, that's the
peak.
thing, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm all like, even if Micah Parsons truly on the trade block, just throw as many first round picks as the Cowboys want. Like Mac went for two, like Khalil Mack, I
hmm
think. Like give him 2 2/3. I'm okay with that because you got a young team already. So
hmm
it's not like you need a lot of needs in the next couple years. So and they're a team that drafts good. So I don't know. Like
hmm
there's no need to, I don't know. Go all in. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, not with the Lions. No.
Okay, let's go to the green flag. What's your biggest green flag going into the season for the Detroit Lions?
It would be the DB room. I
Okay.
think they have the best safeties in the league.
Yeah.
With Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch,
Yeah.
and then they had DJ Reed. I think that that is like one of their strengths. So
Yeah.
that's what I put for the green flag.
I like that one. Yeah. I put that they're going to be healthy. That's a big green flag.
Yeah.
I think at one point in the last season they had 21 people on IR. They had
Yep.
13
Something like
defenders.
that.
Yeah, 13 defenders on the IR in the end of the season. So it just shows how riddled with injury they were, but yet they were the seventh ranked defense. So if they can just
hmm
be healthy, that's going to go a long way. And they didn't lose any big name players. So that's
hmm
another win is like they lost Davis, but you replaced him with Reed, so it's
Yep.
kind of like a wash. So to me, I just think the fact they didn't lose any big players, they're going to be healthy, and if they can stay healthy relatively, even though they had a couple injuries already, but if they can stay
hmm
healthy, I think it's gonna be a better season overall for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, red flag. What's your biggest red flag going into the season?
I put down two new coordinators.
Yeah, that's what I put too.
Yeah, I think I was like, I bet you Ryan and I are going to agree on this one
Yeah,
because you just don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. There's, I think sometimes we tend to look too much at the players
hmm
when coaching has a lot to do with it. If you're not utilizing the talent in the right way, it really is a waste.
Yeah. 100% agree. I think like with so Aaron Glenn, I think is a little bit more replaceable. I don't think he's really at times. I feel like, especially if you look back at it against the Commanders in the playoffs, he didn't adjust anything. He just kept
Mhm.
bringing it. Like worked against the Vikings. We're going to all out pressure, so we're going to do the same exact thing to the Commanders. And even though it
Yeah.
wasn't working, they kept doing it and kept doing it. So it's like you need to adjust. And I know like part of the problem was he didn't have his roster of players, but that's what you got to do as a coach. You try different things. You don't
Mhm.
just keep doing the same thing. Ben Johnson, I'm more worried about the offensive side of the ball because that's where you saw Jared Goff just thrive in that offense. You saw the trick plays. You saw like the way the ability to run the ball. Now, because they didn't lose any of the players, there's a positive because at least they have that continuity. For the most
Mhm.
part, they didn't lose any of the players. So there's a little bit of hope, but like I'm with you. Is like when you lose both coordinators, it's rough because you're starting over on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Yep, 100% agree.
Yeah. Fantasy football go to. Who's your fantasy football go to for the Lions?
I really like Jamison Williams this year.
hmm
I think obviously St. Brown gets a lot of attention, but I could see him really having a breakout season. He's kind of
Yeah.
like my go-to.
Yeah, I like that one. I think he like he'll be not too what's it called too high of a pick, like in
Correct.
comparison.
Like
So that
Gibbs,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. Gibbs is gonna be
He's
a
gonna be
big
a
one.
first rounder, he probably.
Correct. And on
Mhm,
that note, I think Montgomery might be a good
mhm.
pickup because I still think they're going to split carries
I do
and
too.
he's going to be a later round pick. So that's another go to.
Yeah.
And secretly, if depending on what kind of league you're in, like you could be in a two quarterback league or where you might late in the draft, Jared Goff could be like a late
hmm
late pickup. Like I'm talking about like you missed out on any quarterback and you'll just take whoever's left. Goff could be one. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he had 37 touchdowns last year, so if that continues, he'll be a good pickup.
See, he could be like a Trevor Lawrence. You just, if everything falls in right, he could have a great season.
Correct. Right. Okay. Prediction. So the over under that I found for the Lions was 10.5. So what say you, Shannon? What do you think the Lions finish this year?
I have them at 10-7.
Okay. So
I don't think
under the over under.
it's really hard to repeat what they did last year.
Yeah.
So I still have them making the playoffs, but 10-7 probably is what I have them at.
Okay. So I have them 12-5.
Hmm.
They won 15 games last year. I don't think they'll get
Hmm.
that high, but I just think with hopefully they don't have the same injury problems they have last year. And so I think everything will sort of equal out. I think it'll
Hmm.
be sort of a slow start in the sense of like maybe they'll start out like 4-2, 4-3, something like that. But I think they'll get going. It all is dependent on the coordinators and how they fit together with the team if they bring the same kind of play calling aptitude that the other two coordinators did.
Yeah, and I think there's a few question marks with their offensive line as well, with Frank Ragnow retiring.
Mm.
And he was a solid player. And so we'll see how it shakes out. But to me, I think offensive lines are very important, and sometimes we overlook that.
Yeah, they had I think a top three offensive line last year, so we'll see
Mhm.
how. And they lost
Yeah,
another one, but they brought in
yeah,
who is it? They lost
yeah. They
Kevin
drafted,
Zeitler.
yes,
Yeah, so they brought in uh that they drafted the one guy there that you were talking about
yeah, the
before. Yeah.
Tate, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see. So you have them 10-7, I have them 12-5. Okay, anything else on the Detroit Lions?
No,
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.